Donald Trump is actively trying to kill Social Security. In fact, he has promised, if reelected, he will kill Social Security. Nancy Altman is here with us to tell us all about it. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. On the line with us is the president of Social Security Works, the chair of the Strengthen Our Social Security Coalition, author of 3 books about Social Security, Nancy Altman. The website socialsecurityworks.org. Her Twitter handle is Nancy Altman 5, number 5, or at SSWorks. Nancy, welcome back to the program. I understand that Donald Trump issued an executive order that could lead to the death of Social Security, or at least the Social Security Trust Fund, within 3 years. Do I have that right?
You have that right. The death of Social Security. He has taken an action that's never before been taken in the 85-year history of the program, unilaterally unprecedented, and he more than his action. When he took the action, he stated that if reelected, he would do more of the same, and that will lead to literally the end of Social Security as we know it.
Do you think that he did this in order to get Wall Street to give him more money?
Well, that could be. I think the reason he did it is the reason that a lot of the conservative elites misunderstand the program. They don't need Social Security. They don't understand how important it is to virtually all of us, that we all contribute to it. And they see it as simply a tax. You know, they can make it on their own. They see it as a tax. And they figure, oh, who doesn't want a tax cut? And so they don't understand that these are premiums we all pay as part of our earned benefits.
Right. So your FICA tax is not really a tax. It's a premium that you're paying. And Trump is saying, we're going to stop you from paying the premiums on your insurance. And of course, when you stop paying premiums on your insurance policy, the insurance policy goes away. Nancy, I've told the story many times of my friend Michael Hutchison, who in his 40s was out jogging in Santa Fe in the winter and going over a small bridge over a river. He tripped on some ice, fell over the edge of the bridge into the river, broke his neck, and spent the rest of his life. He died just a few years ago, spent the rest of his life paralyzed from the neck down. Social Security paid for everything. They paid for his housing, they paid for his food, they sent a nurse every day to turn him over and clean him up and do all this kind of stuff. I mean, without Social Security, he would have been dead, by the side of the road kind of thing. And I don't think most young Americans realize that Social Security isn't just for people over 65. Social Security is an insurance policy that you literally can't buy in the marketplace. It is so comprehensive. It is so complete. It's a lifetime policy. I had one of my cousins gave birth to a child with spina bifida, who was profoundly retarded and disabled her entire life. She lived until she was in her early 20s and then died from her spina bifida. And again, Social Security came in and helped that family remain whole. How do we convey this to young people that my cousin was in her 20s when this happened? How do we convey this to people that this thing doesn't the spin is always, oh, it's just old people. How do we
I think you're exactly right. And let me offer you one more story, and that is a colleague of ours who works for Paralyzed Veterans of America. He's a millennial. He never thought about Social Security, believed all of the nonsense that it wouldn't be there and all of that, and was serving our country, had an accident, wound up in a wheelchair, and he will say that he would have been homeless without Social Security's disability benefits. So it's really important for all of us to realize the good news. I mean, I'm actually back to your question about Wall Street. Social Security is extremely efficient. More than 99 cents of every dollar gets paid for benefits, less than a penny of every dollar for administration, which you cannot find in the private sector. And you know how much of that money goes to Wall Street? Zero. So that is why Wall Street is dying to get its hands on the trillions of dollars that run through Social Security. But I think it's really important to get the word out. The good news is that although the younger you are, the less likely you are to believe that it's going to be there for you. And as we just have said, it's there for you right today. But if you ask a follow-up question, do you think then we should get rid of it? They say no, because even if millennials don't think or younger people don't think they're going to get it themselves, they know their parents get it, their grandparents, their other colleagues.
And they don't want to have to open up a room in their house for those folks.
Exactly. And that's what it was before Social Security. People routinely moved in with their adult children. And today, it's people have the choice. They can live independently. And it's a program that works, which is why the conservatives hate it so much, because it puts the lie to the idea that the private sector can do everything better than the government. Social Security is far superior to private life insurance, private disability insurance, and private retirement annuities.
Right, because nobody's trying to skim 20% off the top, first of all.
Exactly.
Secondly, nobody, they don't have and they don't have an army of claims adjusters whose main job is to figure out reasons to throw you off the policy, as all these for-profit companies do. I mean, they do, obviously, they're looking for fraud and things like that, but...
but they don't have... It's not a high-paid CEO that you've got in the private sector. There's no profit motive. You don't have to go out and pay money into advertising and all of that. It is run by civil servants, and it is run very efficiently.
We're talking with Nancy Altman, the president of Social Security Works, chair of the Strengthen Our Social Security Coalition, and the author of 3 books about Social Security, socialsecurityworks.org. Nancy, for those who are, wonks on this issue in the 2 minutes or so that we've got left, describe exactly what it is that Donald Trump did with this executive order and how and what the consequences would be if he gets reelected and fulfills his promise to make it permanent.
Well, about 90% of Social Security's revenue comes from the premiums employees pay and matched by the employers. So Trump, who hates Social Security, has called it a Ponzi scheme, despite his, I'll never cut it. Every one of his budgets proposed cuts to Social Security. It's a starve the beast tactic. It's, the idea of you shrink the government till you can drown it in the bathtub. That's what he wants to do to Social Security. He tried to get Congress as part of the COVID package. He said he'd veto it if they didn't cut these premiums. And even the Republicans said, hey, we can't do that right before an election. We're raiding Social Security. So he did it on his own. He couldn't cut them, but what he could do is defer them. The same way that the IRS deferred income taxes from April 15th to July 15th. He said, okay, the amount that's owed for Social Security withdrawals, we're going to postpone that till the end of the year. And if I get elected, we're going to get rid of those. So in the short term, it's a 4-month delay. Even the Chamber of Commerce doesn't like it. It's completely inadministrable. They're using the federal employees as guinea pigs. So they're going to get a small increase now, and then they're going to have to pay double in January. And it's giving employers a tax-free loan. But the real danger is what he says if he gets reelected. This election is crucial for Social Security. The Democrats, thanks to Bernie Sanders, are all for expanding Social Security and making those at the very top, the millionaires and billionaires, pay more. And Donald Trump and the Republicans want to end Social Security.
Amazing. You can read all about it at socialsecurityworks.org. Nancy, you can tweet her at Nancy Altman, number 5. Nancy Altman is the president of Social Security Works. She's also written 3 brilliant books about Social Security. I encourage you to check those out. Nancy, thanks so much for dropping by.